Welcome back to Couch Talk 1 of 1. We have a very special guest in the building with us today. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
It's Mark Harsley. We're on Couch Talk 101 right now.
Facts. All right. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to talk about what he do, what he brings to the city, how to get in contact with him. We're going to talk about the whole nine. So basically, we're going to start off. What is it actually that you do?
So right now I'm the founder of Kite. It's a mobile app that allows families to stay connected with their incarcerated loved ones and their family members who are stationed overseas in the military, serving the military.
Okay. Now, how did you start it? Like what was the?
So starting Kite came from my own experiences being incarcerated. The story I'll tell is I got a younger brother and I have a daughter, and I would hit him up on the phone like, man, could you send me some pictures? I'm missing my family and missing my daughter specifically. You know, you want to stay in contact during those birthdays, holidays, just anything that's happening. And I remember hitting him up on the phone and he was like, man, it's taking me a minute. I got to go to CVS, upload the photos, and then I got to print them. I got to mail them. I'm like, all right, man, it's taking forever. So I already had the skills as a developer. I was interested in technology, so I went to learn how to build applications. And I built this application basically in the hopes that it would be for other people that what it wasn't for me, that their experience would be better because they would be able to easily, you know, connect with those family members and they'll be able to talk more frequently. And then one, I wanted to make it affordable too. The phone calls are expensive, everything. So really the whole idea was just born out of my experiences of just being separated, having time to think, having time to really like be in my mind and thinking about, man, what could I do that really takes advantage of the situation I'm in and like brings a positive light. Because, you know, you go through situations like that and a lot of people never recover from it. It's like, man, I'm locked up, what am I going to do? And it's like entrepreneurship was already something I had looked at in the past and I already had other businesses. But I was like, no, I want a business specifically for this group of people that I'm a part of. And I want to do it in a way where I turn this negative situation into a positive, and to tell the whole story full circle was my goal. So that's how it really was born.
Okay. So basically you took your negative experience and made it into a positive, and it's going to help somebody else.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It wasn't just about making money, because that's the other thing too. You go to a point in your life where everything is about money, and I think a lot of younger people, even when I was younger, everything was about money and what I could have and what I could do with it, you know. And your focus changes, man, when you get a little bit older and you start seeing the world for what it is. And it's like, as important as money is, because you need it to do things, what's better is to really be able to have an impact on somebody else's lives. And when you just think about like mail time being locked up, man, it sounds weird because I barely check my own mailbox now. Like, when you think about mail on the outside, it's like it's either bills or some kind of advertising. You look at it in a negative aspect, but for them, getting mail is like the highlight of the day. And I watch people not get mail and feel some type of way because it's just like, man, does my family love me? Like, what am I missing out on?
So you almost feel like a disconnect.
Exactly.
Okay.
You feel disconnected. And, you know, when you feel disconnected, that influences your other behaviors. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, if you think about what it's like when you don't have your parents around, even when in the world, you know, like that has an impact. People act out because of, and the same thing happens on the inside. So I wanted to really be able to help somebody and wanted to be able to help those families stay connected. And it's not because they don't want to. It's just that 750 phone calls is expensive. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So it's not something that you can do often. And then, you know, if they're sending you money for the phone and they can't send you money to put on your books so you can eat. And so a lot of people don't have that support. A lot of people that are locked up are poor anyway. Like a lot of us hustle and do the things that we did because we were trying to make it out of that type of situation. A lot of times you're leaving people in a situation where they don't got the extra money to do that, and then they don't really have the time, because if they're working and they're doing other things, it's like it has to be easy. Everything in our lives is easy, and it's about like being fast and quick.
More convenient.
More convenient. You know, we upload a picture, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? It's instant. You know what I'm saying? We get on Twitter, we type our tweets, we get on Facebook, you may put a status up. All of that, we add a caption to our Instagram photos, but we doing all that in a matter of a couple of minutes and it's done. You know what I'm saying? So the whole idea was to make it that easy for somebody else
who can't get to it like we can.
Exactly.
It's easy for them to see now.
Exactly.
So, okay.
Yeah, it's easy for them, and they get it in the form of a postcard. It's not like they had the phones and the application to be able to receive it, but it makes it easier on the person that's looking to support them to send it, and that way they have to go into the store and uploading the photos. Just uploading it onto our server, we're taking it and we're printing it, and then we're taking the steps out of you having to go out and mail it and do the stamping and the postage. Then we don't charge you any shipping as well, so you're not paying for it to get there. We cover that expense for you. We just covering the cost of you actually sending your actual photos, the product that you buying from us, and that's it.
Really? Okay. And now I know you guys just starting out, like y'all months into it. So this is something that can become big.
Absolutely.
And nobody, do you feel like somebody else somewhere is doing this, or you feel like this is?
No, definitely. So we found some competition out there. Competition is good. We can get into this entrepreneur talk. Like, competition is validation for your idea, actually. A lot of times we'll see that somebody is doing something similar to what you're doing, and they say, well, no, I can't do it. But competition means there's a market for what you're actually doing. That means that somebody actually needs things. You are actually, you're relevant. You're relevant. You are supplying a need for somebody. And now nobody's doing it the way that we're doing it.
Okay.
So nobody's doing it the way that we're doing. So we didn't copy what somebody else is doing, and then it was like, we're just gonna do what they're doing because we see that's working. No, this really came from my own experiences of being locked up, and like a lot of this was written down before I ever got out in October last year. So now I took my notepad, because that's all I had, and was writing this idea down. And I spent a lot of time thinking about how not to have to like directly connect with facilities to be able to do this. Nobody else is going after the market of people who are deployed in the military. That really came from having a girl who was stationed in Hawaii, and she was in the Navy, and was like, how am I going to write you if you get deployed? Like, how am I going to communicate? Like, you're going to be on a boat in the middle of an ocean somewhere. Like, how am I going to do that? And so she kind of explained the process, and I realized that the application I was building for these people who are incarcerated worked the same way for them. So now we've been working on, customizing a different user experience where somebody can set their preferences before they leave, and even get like care packages from people on our application, so you can get the snacks that you want. And then the other thing that's different, there's other companies out there that do messaging. There's some companies that people probably know about, like JPay and Telmate, who all kind of got into this game as far as like messaging. But we doing something that only could come from somebody who's been through the situation, and that's we send in first day out packages too. So the only other time you can mail a facility, at least federally, and a lot of times in jail as well, as your family can send you the clothes that you go home in. And so, again, a lot of the guys that I was around being in a federal place, even though it was a white collar crime that I was there for, a lot of the guys was there for drugs. So, those type of guys have a different kind of, their mindset is, man, how fresh I'm going to be when I get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that first day is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had a whole music movement based off of that, not too long ago, with just like Gucci coming out, his first day out. You had T Grizzly. It's like, so we want to really capture that momentum, and we want to allow you to be able to send, your loved one the first fit they come home in, and the first cologne that they wear when they get out, like, just to make that first day, memorable and big for them. Like, it's a celebrating them transitioning back into society, but we also have this application that helps you stay in contact with them, throughout that process, so they get the support they need, So it's not only about that day out looking good, it's about what's leading up to that, you know what I'm saying? So they can be focusing. My whole thing is like first day out and stay out, you know what I'm saying? Stay out, like, you gotta have love around you, man, to be able, because the system is it's a trick. It's designed for you not to win. You need that family, man. You need people to like remind you why you're doing it. And that's the whole thing as well. Like, that doesn't start when you get out. That starts while you're there. You know what I'm saying? Because there's things to get into while you locked up that could put you in there, put deeper into a hole, man. A lot of times, you know, people start to planning what their next crime is. It's like, all right, man, like, you gotta focus on something else, but you gotta have somebody that's really giving positivity to you, and that's what it's all about. That's what I'm all about right now.
So you feel like the people that have the connection from the family are more likely to go the positive route versus the people that don't have nobody. They planning the next crime while they
absolutely, man. That's what I encourage anybody out there with somebody locked up to stay engaged with, because who's your influence?
Yeah.
Who's influencing? Who's talking to you? Who's mentoring you? Who's telling you and giving you the alternatives out here? You know, I spend a lot of time talking to dudes, and I grew up in a great family, had great parents, and for a lot of them, it was trying to explain to them how it's not designed for any of us.
Right.
But there are options for everybody. And it's about who's talking to you, who's in your ear, who's influencing you, who you're around. And the statistics do show that people who have family members that are connected to them while they're in that experience are more likely not to go back. That term is called recidivism. Recidivism is when people get out and then they go back. You know, Indiana's recidivism rate is very high. But a lot of times, if you think about it, we forget about people once they get
that's
locked
what I was about
up.
to say. Once they get locked up, it's more so like they ain't out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly, exactly, and that's the whole thing. Like, and that's true as well. One thing that was interesting in doing like the whole research for this application was going and looking at how similar the experiences of people who were incarcerated in the military are. Because they're also they're in the same.
They're the positive brim of it, but it's more so like, damn, don't forget about me too.
Exactly.
Like, okay,
they're not. Yeah, they're out of sight, out of mind as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see them often. They're not home often.
Yep.
It's just like we forget about them, and like, I don't know, man. Connection is so human. You know, just think about if you didn't see, and they don't always get to see their kids and their families and their grandmas and aunties and uncles, and you know, so there's some similarities, and these people come back with the highest rates of like post-traumatic stress, you know, PTSD. They are the ones that are really affected the most by that lack of connection and that lack of communication, because people just forget.
And it's more so like now growing up with technology being the way it is, it's easier to lose the connection with somebody going overseas versus back in that 90s. So, you know what I mean? So now, like, people are so consumed that you feeling the void to where, like, oh yeah, let me make this part of my daily habit just to send something. You know what I mean? To send a motivational quote. Just send some love. So yeah, you guys are feeling a void to make that connection.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the things that we're doing is I'm putting push notifications right now onto the application that every day you get a reminder to check out and check on your person and send them something. And a lot of the things that we're exploring right now are so we can make that happen like as frequently as possible. Because they need it. Like I said, both of those groups need it. It may take a little time for it to get delivered, but you've already done your part, and then it's on us to actually deliver it for you and make sure it gets there and update you as it gets there. But you can at least know that you've done it. It's over with. You didn't have to do a whole lot of steps, and that's really where our real value proposition is as a business. Is just like, yes, everything is so quick, so let's make this quick and easy for you as well, so that you're more likely to do it. Because things that take a whole lot of steps, we just not going to do it. We're not doing it.
I'm not going to say we just have less motivation, so we end up like, all right, I'll do it next week, or I'll do it, you know what I mean? Versus it being right there on your phone, you be like, let me knock this out. You won't even think about it. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay. Now, so you guys are stationed here in Indianapolis. Do you plan? Is this where do you plan on taking this? Is this something like?
So right now, right now we're in Indianapolis, but this is a little bit of some exclusive. But right now I'm taking on some partnership. I got a former NFL player who's a Super Bowl champion who's stationed out in LA right now. That's where he lives. But I also have he's from New York, so we're looking at New York and LA as our next places to expand. These represent like a large part of the incarcerated population in America. You're talking about two very large states.
Thanks.
California and prison are just like almost synonymous. They're synonyms. Like a lot of people locked up in California. There's a lot of people locked up in New York, and we want to help those families. So we're gonna explain. We built this to be able to go everywhere in the U.S. and even international at some point, because we also don't consider that there are people outside the United States that are also dealing with the same things, and we want to be able to have an application to have reach outside of just the United States. And that's the beauty of the technology, is that technology is everywhere.
It can take you.
It take you anywhere and take you everywhere. So our plan is definitely to take it anywhere where people have phones to be able to do this, because this is the way we incarcerate people, that's an American concept, and we are probably the worst at doing that, but it happens in other places around the world. So we want to be everywhere where people need us.
Facts. Okay. Now, is there anything else you need to tell the people? Looking at camera right there.
So follow me on Instagram, Soul Patch Poppy. I got to get a new Instagram page going for Kite Mail. If you could find us on Instagram as well at Kite Mail, KITEMAIL. You can follow me on Facebook at Mark Harsley, MARKHARSLEY. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. We can chop it up, talk if you're interested in learning more about what we're doing. I'll be glad to send you some information. If you got family members that's locked up and you want to let them know, next time they call you, let them know. You know what I'm saying? Let them know about us and what we're doing and how we're trying to impact the community.
Okay. This is Beat Thrash. We've had Mark Harsley on the show. Hey, it's Couch Talk 101. Stay tuned.